It's Kunda again, fucking fuzzy as fuck, because I haven't shaved in too long. How are y'all doing? I'm actually curious. Let me know in the comments. I feel like a bag of shit, but that's just me. That's not what this video is about, and you guys aren't really interested in that anyway, so another one of the videos, sort of like yesterday, pretty opinion based, but instead of talking about the Cumberland-Colchester riding, which is where I am still, beautiful in the fall by the way, but instead of talking about one riding, I figured today I should talk about the parties and the leaders. I just watched the federal debate again the night before last, just to refresh again and to catch the first part of it because I missed it. And yeah, it was interesting to watch. I don't know what it says about me that I've got time to sit and watch 2 hours of debates in the middle of the night, but apparently that's what I did. Who did I think did okay? Like, let's just start middle of the road, because it's probably the most boring to talk about. The leaders that I thought did only okay: Elizabeth May and Andrew Scheer, which you'd almost never hear them on the same level, but that's pretty much what I thought with the federal debate. Andrew Scheer had almost nothing to work with. His party has nothing that most Canadians should really want, unless you're pro-life, and by pro-life I mean anti-abortion, forced birth, whatever you want to call it. It's that party. And other than that, all he had to work with was holding Trudeau's feet to the fire and grilling him about any mistake that he's made in the past term. And that's why I said he did okay, because he doesn't have much to offer, but he did pretty well with doing that during the debate. Elizabeth May is kind of the opposite. I expect a lot from Elizabeth May. She's done very well in debates in the past. She usually, I find, is one of the best at explaining the situations we're in. And I feel like during the debate, she just kind of, she wasn't at the top of her game. That's all it really was. There was also one comment where she rubbed her pen that rubbed me the wrong way, to be honest, but even outside of that, I think her performance during the debate this time around was actually only okay. And that's sad, but I think it's more saying something about the quality of Elizabeth May as a politician and just how much the Green Party really kind of relies on her, as opposed to, yeah. Moving on. The only person in the debate that I thought kind of really dropped the ball was Justin Trudeau. And he's kind of dropped the ball as far as producing the results that I'd want to see. Like, he hasn't taken us backward, he hasn't taken us forward, he's just kind of taken us in some weird direction that nobody really wanted to go in. And that's kind of where we're at with Trudeau right now. But as for how the debate went, it seemed like the whole time he was just kind of trying to deflect from everybody else, and most of what was good that he said, he was just kind of taken from the Greens or leaning on Elizabeth May to be him but better, basically. So, as for the other leaders, the people we have left are Jagmeet Singh of the NDP, Maxime Bernier of the People's Party, and I'm not French in the slightest. I don't want to butcher this, so I'm apologize if I do, but he's Francis Blanchet, Mr. Blanchet, the Bloc Québécois. And yeah, I actually thought Mr. Blanchet did really well in the debate. Pretty much any point that he brought up, I more or less agreed with. Like, and I'm more or less of one of the my opinion on things is let Quebec do what Quebec's doing. But yeah, I thought Blanchet did well. He represented the Bloc Québécois extremely well, I thought. And yeah, it's almost a shame that they only run in Quebec. Jagmeet Singh did pretty well during the debates too. He's made some comments since after the debates that I really don't like. He's come out in support of LNG, which almost indicates fracking. It's almost a certainty down the road at some point when governments start wanting LNG, either as their own infrastructure or as part of some export plan. And yeah, I don't really like that about the NDP. Jagmeet Singh's performance as leader came leaps and bounds since the start of the election. Once the writ was dropped, it seemed like the NDP and Jagmeet Singh especially got their asses right in gear. They might not have got the results from that they really deserve, but I think that's more circumstances than anything else, and being stuck in the two-party system that we're in. Speaking of which, the video I did yesterday and the video that I did tomorrow, kind of like a ranked ballot style of who I would vote for, given the option of a ranked ballot. And that's just one more thing Trudeau failed to deliver, was electoral reform. And I'm not one of these people who's totally sold on proportional representation. There's a channel on YouTube called Rifle Chair. They did a video on proportional representation, which I think is well worth a watch for any of the politicians, especially Green politicians, that are really pushing proportional representation. I kind of favor ranked ballot myself. So the last leader that we really have to say anything about as far as the debates go was Maxime Bernier, People's Party of Canada, and it's his first year doing debates. It's the first year the party's existed. I'm curious to see where they go, how they do as far as the actual polls. Excuse me. And yeah, I think in the debate he did fairly well. I wasn't blown away with his performance, but I was satisfied with his performance. Like, he didn't make himself look bad. The whole debate was a little bit confrontational, but overall I don't think Maxime hung himself. I don't think anybody else really hung him. He got a couple pot shots from especially Emperor Trudeau, but yeah, there were a lot of pot shots flying around in the debate, and that's election 43 for you. It's been a weird one. Oh yeah. The Libertarian Party of Canada. They aren't running candidates in nearly as many ridings as they should be, but I just want to mention that I think their leader, Tim Moen, I think he's an excellent option. I'm not near his riding. He is from Alberta somewhere, but I do hope he gets his seat. I think he would bring a lot to the table in Parliament, and he's one of the kind of politicians that we need to see more of. I'm kind of disappointed he didn't have anybody running anywhere east of Fredericton as far as I'm aware, but if you're in his riding, I'd suggest voting for him. And personally, who I think of our options of party leaders is the best option to lead Canada, it's really a toss-up between Tim Moen and Elizabeth May in opposition, or vice versa. I know it's unrealistic. I never said it was realistic, but pie in the sky, that is what I think would be best for Canada as a nation. And yeah, let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. I've been talking a little bit long now, and gotta mentally prepare for work. The old trudgery of the wage job. Not even sure if I just invented that word or not. Anyway, still feel like kind of shit. Gonna try and have a good day. Been trying to have a good day for the past year, but it hasn't really been happening. But yeah, like I said, this video is not about that. If you want more videos about that, let me know. I appreciate all your feedback and I read all the comments. But yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video, and I hope I get to squeeze it in a way that's not a driving video, but if that's what it is, that's what it is.